Another episode of Deep True Crimes. I'm Manny Rodriguez. In today's episode, we are talking about Ana Walshe, missing mom of 3 boys, went missing on New Year's Day. Have not heard from her since. We didn't know that she was missing until her workers, the people that she worked for, reported her missing. Not the husband. The husband is someone who is said to have threatened her life along with another friend before they were married in 2014. We're going to be diving into the story and anything else we know since the last time I shared this story. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. The missing Massachusetts mom of 3 boys has been missing since the beginning of the year. Ana Walshe, she once called the cops on her husband, saying that he was threatening to kill her. Not only that, she was threatening to kill her, he was threatening to kill her and a friend. Police reports that have been obtained show that Ana, the Serbian native, called the Washington DC Metropolitan Police on Brian Walshe in 2014, saying he made a statement on the telephone that he was going to kill her and her friends. The call came just 1 year before the couple got married in Serbia. And years before, she was reported missing on New Year's Day in 2023. And so DC police told NBC Boston the case has since been closed. But Brian, he is now charged with misleading a police investigation. And it has since been revealed that he Googled how to dispose of a 115-pound woman's body just days before her disappearance. Not looking good, is it? The Massachusetts mother of 3 alleged that on August 2nd, 2014, before they got married, Walshe made a threat over the phone that he was going to kill her and her friends. The report to Washington DC's Metro Police does not specifically name Brian Walshe in it. It identifies the person who made the chilling move as S1 and adds that he now lives in Boston is a clear reference to him. Ana, she made the report to Timothy Jefferson in her maiden name of Nip at 6 p.m. She gave her address as 435 Massachusetts Avenue, Northwest Washington, D.C. 20001. That's where they lived. But then she refused to cooperate in the prosecution. The realtor, she is a realtor, a successful realtor who works for a D.C. real estate firm during the week, resided there before her marriage to Brian and living in Cohasset, Massachusetts. She was last seen at that house in the early hours of January 1st when she supposedly took a car to Boston's Logan Airport to fly to Washington, D.C. Now, rideshare services, they don't show any pickups at the family home. That is a damaging evidence that they don't have that he's saying occurred. And so Ana's cell phone continued pinging from there for 2 days after she was reported to have left the house. Now again, she wasn't reported missing until January 4th when she failed to show up for work. Brian, he has since been arrested for misleading the cops about his wife's disappearance after cops discovered traces of blood, a hatchet, a hacksaw, a rug, and used cleaning supplies while searching dumpsters near Brian's mother's home. Now again, he has pleaded not guilty to the charges and he is being held on $500,000 bond. Meanwhile, the 3 sons are now in Massachusetts state custody. She has friends and family that want to take custody of the kids. But that's not going to happen at this time. See, before her disappearance, Ana left behind an eerie message in red marker on a champagne bottle to her husband. And this message, which was clearly a sign of something, but we don't really know. And so she leaves this note behind. What does this note actually mean? Well, let's dive into it a little bit deeper. Because truth is, there's a lot behind this story. There's stuff we do not know about this story. Is that not a fair statement? There's stuff we may never know about this story. But truth is, there's going to be more that continues to come out. Is that not a fair statement? Because this missing mom of three, it's in a very strange occurrence. And to think that the husband would be arrested shortly after is definitely not looking good for him. Is that not a fair statement as well? Because truth is, we want to know more about why this is occurring. We don't really know what happened to the mom. And so an astonishing note that was written by the husband of missing realtor Ana Walshe, apparently addressing the public after her disappearance, can be exclusively revealed now. What appears to be a prepared statement and a to-do list scribbled on lined paper was found on the dining table at Ana and Brian Walshe's rented home in Cohasset, Massachusetts, where the 39-year-old mother was last seen in the early hours of January 1st. And so this folded note, it's written in blue ink by Brian, is titled Response to Friends, and seems to be his own scripted message to relay to concerned loved ones about the ongoing speculation over his wife's disappearance. Walshe, again, he's in custody, right? And he's only being charged with misleading the cops. And he writes, I appreciate your concern. Right now, my focus is finding Ana and spending time with, most likely the kids. The remainder of the statement goes below the fold and can be made out from the photo, but the tone suggests he could be referring to their 3 children. That's my thoughts as well. And you could see a little bit on this, right? And so, there's so much about this. We just want to know, where's Ana Walshe? Why is she missing? Because things like this just don't happen for no good reason. There is a reason that we don't know much at this time. And so, but we are finding out so much more, right? And so, below the fold, it looks like it might be about the young children, but right beneath it, a second note containing a list of numbered tasks is partially visible, with one showing TA, believed to be the word talk or tax. It goes on to list 2, call, maybe call, who knows, and 3, call tomorrow. So these pictures were taken from a distance, so it's really hard to know. The notes were evidently written before Walshe was taken into state custody, and he emerged smirking after his court appearance, right? I showed you that if you've been following this story on the channel. And so this is an exclusive image from them. And really what we want to know is, why was he writing these letters? Was he a little worried? Right? And so this is concerning of its own. Now, it has been revealed an exclusive image of 2 U.S. passports on the same table, neatly arranged near the note. We don't really know much about that, which was placed on a book titled The Obstacle. And so these are strange occurrences as well, right? Is it not a fair statement? So we don't really know too crazy much, but we do know that it looks like it's a response to friends. Now, elsewhere inside the home sits a baby's bottle with a small amount of milk still in it. A child's stuffed toy lays face down on the wooden floor, but There's no, the Christmas tree didn't really have anything on it. Few ornaments hanging on it. Not much time put into that tree for the 3 children, but it really looks like a lot was going on. You can see the 2 passports here, 2 U.S. passports on a table neatly arranged near the note, which was placed on a book titled The Obstacle. What exactly does that mean? Why would that be there? You can see the milk, the baby bottle with still a little bit of milk in it. Now, a lot of these photos are obviously exclusive to Daily Mail because they got the pictures, right? And so you can even see the tree that was in the home. And so this is like, there was so much going on. We really don't even know, right? We don't really know so much about this. And this is an ominous a note that Ana Walshe wrote to her husband. This is said to be hours before she vanished. And so this is chilling. This is chilling. You can see, wow, 2022, what a year. And yet we are still here, and a little hard to read there. Let's make 2023 the best one yet. We are the something. Maybe you can make it out a little better. Let's see if we can make those words a little bigger, right? And just see if we can like even look at that a little bit more and make this, let's see. This might help a little bit. Let's see. You can see, wow, 2022, what a year, and yet we are still here and together. Let's make 2023 the best one yet. We are the authors of our lives, courage, love, perseverance, compassion, and joy. Love, Ana. And, you know, as we find out about Ana, she tried to be of a positive mindset. We'll get through everything. But the flip side of Ana is she had a job to do, and she is said to have done that well. If she needed to be open and blunt about things, she's being open and blunt about things. She wasn't pulling punches on all this stuff. She was not living in fear about doing her job, right? That's what we are finding out about her. And so, you know, it's sad that she would just up and be missing. And we know that that just doesn't happen without someone causing her to be missing. Granted, some people disappear because they went out. I don't think that's happened in this case. But pictures that were obtained by DailyMail.com show the champagne box and 3 neatly lined up bottles of A.H. Hirsch Reserve whiskey. The liquor sells for around $3,000 per bottle. The other side of the champagne box, Gem Ana Brian 2023, family friend Gem Mutlu was in the Walshe's home on New Year's Eve. Mutlu did an interview and shared, "We hugged and celebrated and we toasted just what you do over New Year's." There was a lot of looking forward to the new year. There was no indication of anything other than celebrating the new year. Problems on hold. And the gentleman, he left the Walshe family home around 15 miles southeast of Boston at about 1:30 a.m. on January 1st, New Year's. And Ana, she was supposed to take a ride-hailing service to Logan Airport for a flight to Washington, D.C., where she works for real estate behemoth Tishman Speyer. But authorities said there's no evidence she ever got into a vehicle or on a flight. Now, Brian held on $500,000 bail, and he's pleaded not guilty to misleading the police. That's what he is sharing. That is his take on it. I know nothing. I've done nothing. I just didn't report my wife missing for whatever reason. I didn't check on my wife. So you can see the bottles of wine, 3 bottles of A.H. H. Hirsch Reserve whiskey, which sells around $3,000 a bottle. So that is a pretty expensive drink. But they were celebrating, and no holds barred, right? The couple, they own several properties together, including their home in Cohasset and a $1.3 million house in D.C. And so this is pretty, like, was money the motive? That leads the question for me. Cops said they found blood on a damaged knife and in the basement of their home in Cohasset, Massachusetts. And so this is very concerning. Without a shadow of a doubt, that's concerning. Now, security footage showed Brian near a dumpster located on Paradise Road near a Whole Foods market after Anna's disappearance, with Walshe telling authorities that he stopped at the store while running errands for his mother, right? Now, of course, authorities went there, taking a look at it. So security footage that was taken from behind a liquor store showed Brian there. This is just hours after she vanished. And he could be seen close to the garbage of a liquor store, just a 5-minute walk from his mother's apartment in Swampscott, where police impounded several dumpsters where they also found some evidence. Now, sources say Massachusetts State Police obtained the video, which showed Walshe at the dumpster hours after his wife's disappearance on New Year's Day. The garbage bin is located on Paradise Road with a camera near a Whole Foods market. With Walshe, he told authorities that he went to the store just to run some errands for his mom. Meanwhile, a family friend, Natasha Skye, told Fox Boston that in addition to the two families already going through the courts to gain custody of Anna's son, she would also welcome them into her home because she doesn't want them in child protective custody. She wants them in her protection. She said, "Our focus right now is the children. That's why we want to appeal to the local authorities, especially the Department of Children and Families. If the children can stay together, that is what we are putting our energy into." Another friend, Pamela Bardi, she told the station, "You've got 3 boys under 6 years old dealing with what could be extreme trauma. You don't know that what they heard that night or what they saw that night. God knows what they're in for." And I'm sure that they were interviewed by police, and I'm sure that they're asking questions too to the kids, like trying to get any information. Maybe they know something, maybe they don't, because they found this stuff, the damaging evidence in the basement where the kids upstairs when this happened. And so here we was on January 2nd, spotted at a juice bar with the kids in Norwell, Massachusetts, where he placed an order for 3 kids' smoothies, right? And so he was even seen there as he arrived. Now, Hannah Connors, the juice bar's manager, told the news outlet it was not Walshe's first visit and that the employees think of him to be somewhat of a regular there. So he's always there. Nothing new, right? That's what she is saying. "I remember he was standing toward the door, towards the entrance," Connors said. "Usually people will go sit down and hang out, but he didn't go over there. He was just waiting for it, and he left as soon as he got it. We know our regulars and stuff, but we were just too busy." That's what Connors shared. "I didn't have a conversation with him, but just to think he was here is absolutely mind-blowing." And so we want to find out a lot more. You see, Brian, he had been on home confinement while awaiting sentencing in a fraud case involving the sale of a fake Andy Warhol paintings. Now, that's according to federal court records. And everyone has spoke out, even the guy he duped in that thing, right? So Massachusetts State Police and local police, they took Brian into custody, believing that they had probable cause to think he had misled the police in the search for his wife. He did not tell the police about his Home Depot store visit, where he bought $450 worth of mops, buckets, tarps, tape, and cleaning supplies. Now, that does not look good for him. Why would he buy that? I'm still think that they're going to need a lot more to prove that he did something to his wife. Is that not a fair statement? And so he told the police that he had been to a supermarket and a pharmacy, though there's no evidence that he was at either store, right? So that's a little odd as well. So he's said to have misled investigators so he could either have a little more time to do his cleanup, maybe get rid of more evidence. That's what they're thinking that he did. And so right now he's just being accused by prosecutors, not giving a full account of his activities the day of and the days after his wife just vanished in thin air, right? While the search for her is still ongoing. But there will be more because we continue to find out more. We find out that he threatened her life back in 2014. Why would she still marry him? I don't know. But you see, when he went out making all these visits, right, he was wearing an ankle tag without the GPS tracking that's only used. It only uses radio waves to tell cops when he left home, but not where he had gone. And so police made him wear one because he was under federal authorities because of the art scandal. And so he's wearing his ankle tag even here without GPS equipped. And now it just notified authorities, yep, he left home, but we don't know where he went. And he was on house arrest because he pled guilty to fraud charges that linked to an art scam in 2018. And so he had been fitted with a device which informs probation when he leaves the property, but not where he is going. And so now that his wife has been missing for like 13 days, when she was reportedly left her home at 6 a.m. to catch a flight, but he's wearing this monitor that only uses radio waves, does not have a GPS. Why would they give him something that doesn't have his GPS? I find that interesting. And so the search for the 39-year-old real estate executive, it continues. And experts in location monitoring bracelets saying it is not unusual for the devices to not have GPS and only use radio waves. Walshe's bracelet only uses a radio frequency that alerts authorities that he left home, but we don't know where he went. I'm guessing they didn't think he was a threat to leave the country. And so one defense attorney had shared, J.W. Carney tells WBZ-TV, let's say it's a release for an hour and a half. As long as he's back at the end of the hour and a half, they generally let it slip. So in his mind, I have an hour and a half to go to the juice bar, to go to Home Depot, and be back. So if he's back, to him, it doesn't raise red flags. Interesting, right? And so the attorney says, let's say, for example, a person passes a hardware store on the way back from dropping the kids off at school, and he goes in and buys a couple of things. Generally, that won't be something that will get the probation officer's attention, right? So that makes sense why it didn't get any attention at the time. Because it's only radioactive. It only alerts them when they leave. And so he is still on house arrest, and he was trying to work around that. It looks, allegedly, right? And so, truth is, we just want to know where Ana Walshe is. Very chilling. You got that crazy message that I read to him and about the family. That ominous message in red marker on a champagne bottle on New Year's Eve, hours before she vanished, which looks like they were having a fun time. That note, wow, 2022, what a year. And yet we are still here and together. Let's make 2023 the best one yet. We are our authors. We are the authors of our lives, courage, love, perseverance, compassion, and joy. Love, Ana. It's one of her last messages. That's hard to take in. And Ana Walshe, She even tells the judge in 2021 that her husband was taught to lie as a child. And less than 2 years before she went missing, Ana Walshe tells this judge that her husband suffered from an ever-present trauma and has been taught to lie and hide in his childhood. The admission was buried in a glowing September 2021 letter she wrote to a judge. I shared that letter with you in the previous video, asking to consider giving her husband a lenient prison sentence for committing the art fraud. Brian, who was arrested in connection to his wife, he admitted to selling these fake Andy Warhol paintings to an eBay buyer out of Los Angeles for $80,000. And so she's praising Brian for supporting the family, participating in charity work, and she says he was taught to lie and hide. He was told that he was a loser, that his parents should not have had him, that he had no chances of making anything of himself in life, and that he was a lost cause. A deep sense of shame governed his life. That's what Ana wrote in defense of Brian. And she wrote that Brian had a difficult time allowing others to get close to him, including his wife, because he was afraid of relationships. Boy, was she defending this guy as much as she could, right? She did not want her husband to be sent away for the rest of his life, or the rest of, she didn't want any big, long 20-year sentence or even 10-year sentence. She wanted him to be with her and the 3 boys. And, it's hard to take in how she defended him and this guy, again, allegedly. Because Brian is said to have, according to her, a big heart and was the love of her life. Now he's arrested for misleading police, and police believe he knows a lot more, right? I am thinking that there is something to be said about what was found in the basement. Is that not a fair statement? Because we don't really know outside of that. But we do know that this was last seen at her house in the early morning hours of January 1st, 2023. And police found in the family's basement, a blood-stained, damaged knife. They also discovered a hacksaw, hatchet, blood, used cleaning supplies, and a rug at a trash transfer station in Peabody, a little more than an hour away from the couple's home. And then I told you about the search he did about how to dispose of a 115-pound person. My friends, this is not about me. This is about being a voice for the victims. And right now, Ana Walshe is a victim. We don't know where she's at. By all accounts, she didn't just get up and disappear. And if it wasn't for her workers, who knows if we would have found more about her, right? We wouldn't even know anything about this if the workers didn't speak up. Is that not a fair statement? My friends, at the end of the day, if this is the type of content you like to follow, please hit that subscribe button, click on that like, and hit that notification bell. That way you get notified whenever I go live or I upload content. This is not about me, my friends. I want you to be a little more safer, a little more careful, a little more aware of what could go wrong in this crazy world we live in, right? Be careful, be alert, be safe. Until next time, peace. Have a great day.